Hello, you guys. Hello, you guys. Hello. Hello. I'm going to let you all start getting the notifications. I know everybody trying to cook tonight. I see one person. Hey, you're just towing. You're present here with me. You know what? I would have been cooking, but my mama, Diane on here. My mother, she's so excited about this holiday. She cooking everything. She doing her dressing with her turkey. She put turkey wings in her dressing. I'm probably gonna do a pasta. She did ask me to do that Arabian pasta. It's more like a Mediterranean pasta. Um, I'll do that. I may do that tonight. And she's doing potato salad. When I called her earlier, she was like, I'm fixing a potato salad. Y'all know that just made my day because her potato salad is the best in the United States. And her sweet potato pies, she's doing greens, she's doing yams. She says she's doing a pan of neck bones. She put her neck bones in the oven. And she's doing something else. Um, what else is she doing? She's doing some more stuff. He says, I'm just going to stay in the bed all day. You're going to stay in the bed all day tomorrow? I wish I could give you some of my mama food. I know. See, I got to get there early because if I don't, my cousins and them going to eat it up. They're going to get there early so that they can eat up all the food. Email me some of that sweet potato. My mama makes and she always make too many. And she's been doing that since I was a little girl. Like, she makes so many sweet potato pies. Like, every holiday, she end up putting them in the freezer and then having to throw them away. She never makes any less than like 7 sweet potato pies, like 8, 9. I don't know why she make that many sweet potato pies. It's like she just get happy when she's making them. Hey Shane, hey Deborah. Who else is in here that I missed? Yeah, I'm ready for the dressing. I'm ready for um the potato salad. All of the stuff that I went and bought, she told me just do it for Christmas. She was like, just cook it for Christmas. Cause she said I'm not gonna cook this much food for Christmas. So my little turkey, I normally smoke it. I'll smoke it for Christmas. All the rest of my stuff, I got all those sweet potatoes. I went into the store and bought a whole, like almost 2 bags of sweet potatoes because I was gonna do sweet potato cornbread, all of that good stuff. But then I cook a lot of sweet potatoes. I ain't gonna even lie. I make yams. I like baked chicken and yams. I make the best sweet potato pies on this side of the Mississippi. I okay. Hey, I ain't gonna argue with you. Maybe you do, but my mama's sweet potato pies be really good. Hey Jamal. Anyways, you guys, I want to talk about. I know I've been. I'm gonna have some. I got some time. Okay, I got time today. I got time tomorrow. So, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after. Well, I'm speaking. I'm just talking, but I really don't. But I definitely got today and tonight and tomorrow. So, hey, Lil T. So I was gonna do a video on this yesterday. Y'all know I be getting sleepy. I've been tired. And on TD Jakes. Now I did a video on TD Jakes having a stroke allegedly, and they're saying that they don't know if it was a stroke or not, right? So then I don't know. I was looking at him when they saying that it's a hoax. Now I was looking at him. It was almost like I went back and looked at that when it's like he gave his wife a cue. He said, "You praying for me? I know you praying for me, right? Right." As if he was giving her the cue. I'm getting ready to do it. I don't know. He could have very well had a stroke because they said that he's getting older. There's a lot of exhaustion. He had gone over to Africa allegedly, and when he got back from Africa, he was sick, and he was up there. Okay. Let me see. It all depends on how soon quick he bounced back. Because see, about a month or so ago, Bishop Marvin Winans fell out in the church. Let's see. Yeah, let me see. Um, if I can find it. Because they said the good bishop been hold on, I tell you what. They said the good bishop been suing people for certain allegations. Hold on, y'all. I just saw it the other day that did he yesterday did they make his people make them take it down? I wanted to read it just like they said it. Um Hold on, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button too. Lord, they said Diddy got groupies in jail. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I think he must have made media takeout take it down. But hold on. Anyways, I'm gonna just kind of talk about what I was reading. They said that it was a hoax. Basically, I think his people must have made them take it down. It was basically saying it was a hoax, basically to try and get people back to church. According to media takeout, his church, the congregation has really thinned out. Amid a lot of the allegations, especially a lot of the lawsuits that have been filed against him, of being on the down low and all of that. And so they said that, hey, you have to let me tell y'all something. When these preachers and stuff start building these big buildings, these big churches and stuff, they start building a lot of them, start building these life centers and stuff. They have to get loans, they get investors to invest in their stuff. So that's why they want to get in with the celebrities so that these celebrities can start investing in their stuff. They start introducing them to whoever funds them. I'm sure they have to pay that money back with some type of return, right? Um, so if you ain't, you live in a certain lifestyle, you used to having 10,000 members a Sunday. I'm talking about not 10,000 that's on the internet, not counting those, but in your church for many years. Can you imagine how much money that is? And it has dwindled all the way down. I mean, you know, he was filling up every one of his seats, and now you see how, you know, that congregation has thinned out a lot. So according to Media Takeout, I was trying to find it. I was looking at it yesterday. People inside of the church are saying, I don't know how, contacted them and said that it's a hoax to try and get people to start coming back to the church. I'm sure there is a lot of debt. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of debt, and then you're consistently paying for attorneys because people are filing lawsuits against you now. Remember the exact same thing that had happened to Eddie Long. It seems like it's kind of, you know, happening to him. There had always, I guess, I never really heard a whole lot of bad rumors about TD Jakes, right? Now, what I did hear was, well, I mean, what I did see was some time back, his son was arrested years ago for soliciting in the park in Dallas. Okay, and they just kind of swept that up under the rug, and nobody ever heard anything else about Jermaine. Let me see if I can find. I just looked at it yesterday. TD Jakes. I wants to read it verbatim. TD Jakes. Bishop Jakes. Okay, I found it. I think I found it, you guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me, okay? It says update on Bishop Jakes' medical condition. Was he faking? Media Takeout reported that yesterday Bishop Jakes suffered a medical emergency while preaching to a half-empty church in Dallas. Now, I saw it. The church did look half empty. And I'm sure that, you know, that man got bills and stuff. Nobody knows if that building is paid for. He got to pay a lot of the sharks back that loan him the money. That church has never been half empty. Always been very full. I saw it. It's not filling up like it used to. Okay. And it says, an exclusive insight into his medical condition, as well as rumors circulating amongst top members of the Potter's House. Yesterday, TD Jakes appeared before his dwindling congregation and gave a sermon, but the pastor seemed to be unwell. TD Jakes was unable to stand, and he mumbled the words of the sermon. Then, at one point, the pastor started to tremble in what appeared to be a stroke. Men and women from his congregation rushed to his aid, and he was later taken to the hospital. So what happened? Well, Media Takeout spoke with multiple members of TD Jakes' church who tell us that the pastor has undergone a litany of tests, and that so far it doesn't appear that he had either a stroke or a heart attack. While he's not been officially cleared, the doctor believe that he is suffering from exhaustion. They say that the pastor has been recovering from an illness and he was not quite ready to be back into the pulpit. But not everyone believes the diagnosis. Media Takeout spoke with one former member of the Potter's House Church who suspects TD Jakes' illness. TD Jakes' illness may have been faked to get more people to come to church. The former congregation explained TD Jakes used to have thousands of people coming to his church and tithing every Sunday. Since COVID, the numbers started going down, and after Diddy's rumors, they went down even further. We're told that the amount of tithes collected is down substantially. We're told now that it's typical for the church that has seating for 8,000 people to only have a few hundred people. But that may all change after the TD Jakes medical emergency. The insider added people are going to start coming to church again after this. Is it a coincidence or was it planned? I can't say, but I have my suspicions. Okay, now let me just say this. I don't know. Maybe he was sick. He looked like he was shaking and trembling and going on. I mean, it could have been a stroke. They say it wasn't a stroke. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I don't know, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to faithfully go to Kojic. Kojic was in Memphis for so many years, so many. Okay, and I would go to Kojic, and I would meet my dad's sisters and stuff there, because I was so just searching for God, right? I was like, I just need to be around all things God. Going to Kojic, we would be down there, that's when they was doing the price gouging. A lot of the saints was so mean. They was so mean. And I found out quite a bit of other stuff, right? So I found out by somebody that be in the back when they're counting the money. This right here hurt my soul so bad. Um, Thank you, Angel Real Boss, for becoming a member. This right here hurt my soul so bad. The person told me, because they would have security, like off-duty police officers and stuff that was doing security while they was back there, because they would be getting in millions of dollars, right? So they would have security back there while they count the money. So somebody that was back there told me that they was counting the money, and they had raised hundreds of thousands, but it was not enough, right? Person said they had the TV screens and stuff of the congregation in the back where they was doing where they was counting the money. So he said one of the ministers was like, you know what, this right here ain't enough. We need to raise some more money. And he said the minister told them, they was looking at the screen. He said the minister said, go to that side over there, to the left side or whatever. Work that side a little bit more, because I was watching that side. On that side over there, the people seemed to be more emotional. You could tell, I guess, by the way they was shouting and falling out, they was going through some stuff. Work that side over there. Work that side over there more. He said, so one of the pastors went back out there and started working that particular side, started prophesying, and then started raising more money. And they raised the amount of money they was trying to raise, and then they went back to the back and counted it. I guess they splits the money up and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it has been things like that. Because let me just say this, there are a lot of good pastors. There are a lot of good pastors that do good things for the community. Okay. Now I know I done talked about I done told y'all some experiences I had when I went over there to Reverend Al Green Church. Okay, it's like the Twilight Zone somewhat. But one thing that I did like about Reverend Al Green is a millionaire, but Reverend Al Green was not taking up tithes and offerings. And his deacons had said to him, he said, my deacons get on to me about not taking up tithes and offerings. He said, I don't want to ask y'all for money. Y'all need y'all money. I pay y'all tithes and offerings. He said, this church don't need nothing. I paid for this church back in I believe he said 1978 or something like that, 1980 or something. He said, whenever something needs to be fixed, I pay for it. I pay y'all tithes and offerings. That's my blessing to y'all. I don't want to ask for no money. Now, Reverend Al Green is a millionaire, but I think about that, and I think that's a good thing, because you have a lot of older women and stuff that are just really just fans of Al Green. They go to that church, okay, because they're fans of his music, and a lot of them don't have the tithes and offerings. He's not being greedy, okay. He might have some other flaws, but he's not being greedy by consistently trying to take money in. That man said that I don't want to ask y'all for no money, because I don't need no money, and this church don't need nothing. Right? But you have, there are some pastors that consistently try and make people feel guilty about not giving their last. And I think that's one of the issues that I have, because I do believe, that the church is like a hospital. People go, I'm talking about people go when they're mentally, when they're going through stuff. And I just think that it's a shame to shame people that don't have money to put into church, make them feel a certain way. Your faith is not good. To make elderly people choose between, they feel like if I don't pay my tithes, I'm gonna go to hell, or they have to choose between, for them in their mind, going to hell or buying their medicine and their food. When the truth of the matter is, with the seniors and stuff, they really ought to be going to the church, and they should be, their medicine and stuff should be getting paid for. If they ain't got it, they should never be hungry, right? Because God says you're supposed to take the tithes and the offerings to the storehouse, which means it don't necessarily have to be money. It could be food and stuff, clothes and all of that you store up for the widows and the children, right? So when people are in need, they're able to go to the church, and if they don't have no food, you can give them a couple packages of chicken. They ain't got no clothes, no coat. They can go to the church, because that's where the storehouse is. And so I said all that to say this. I think people have gotten greedy. Okay, people have gotten greedy. I was one of those ones where I was a single mother child, and I was like, Lord, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. My dad already paying my bills and stuff. He already paying half my bills every month. I was calling him at one time, okay? Especially when I first started. But I felt like if I go to the church, okay? If I go to the church and okay, I got a little bit of money. I'll give the church what I have, and then I believe God to, I guess, to give it back to me or something, because that's what they used to put into the atmosphere. If you don't give your last dime, you ain't got no faith, right? And then it was later on that I learned, I mean, if they would tell you, if you give your last, you'll be blessed. It was later on that I found out that you blessed if you got your light bill money, right? If you already got your light bill money, you blessed. You don't need to give it, you don't need to give it to nobody else. You need to go pay your darn light bill, right? And so I think a lot of the industry, because I started thinking about like a lot of the other preachers and stuff, like the Creflo Dollars and all of them. You don't hear a lot about those preachers. And I remember one time, me and my friend was on the phone. This was some years back, and we was talking about, there was a lot of controversy about Creflo Dollar having his congregation to pay $10 million, I believe, for him a jet, for him a plane. And the reason behind it was, he says that when the nations was in trouble, he needed to be able to jump on his plane, on his jet, and get there immediately to start praying. Now you got, and I do believe, and he got it. They bought it. Okay, I remember my friend saying, "I holler." He says, "Now, if one of them want to get they little rusty, dusty behinds on there, they ain't gonna be able to get on the. He ain't gonna let them ride the plane." But they raised $10 million. Let me be sure. I believe it was $10 million. Let's see. Creflo Dollar raises $10 million. Okay. You don't hear about Creflo anymore. He said he asked them to pay $300. He asked for $300 each to pay for a Gulfstream 3650 I said, Lord, G6 3. I'm moving too fast. G650 jets. Okay. That's what he asked them for, okay? He wanted them to contribute to the jet. And he got it, y'all. It cost $70 million. He got it. They said Creflo would get the $70 million jet. Now, here's the thing about that. Hold on. Can y'all imagine that? I remember, and this was back in 2015. So he been had it. I know. That's around the time I watched him a little bit. That kind of turned me off because I get to thinking about you asking you want to buy a jet. I thought the jet was 10 million. It was 70 million. Okay, I get to thinking about you got people in your church that's hungry. They don't they're trying to make ends meet. They don't have cars, they don't have houses, their kids and stuff don't have pampers, but at some point they put money in their church. The first thing they try to say, now it's not our response. We didn't have them kids, it's not our responsibility to be buying them kids clothes and stuff like that. Why you asking for the tithes and offerings? Well, they giving that to God. Since when did God ever need some money? Right? It says Creflo will get $70 million Gulfstream jet, says church. World Changers Board says it's necessary for ministry. Y'all, he has had that $70 million jet since 2015. But his church said it was necessary for him to have it. A lot of them ain't even got skates to skate to church because they can't afford it. But these folks put their money together to raise money for a $70 million jet. See, this is one of the reasons why God is not pleased. And a lot of these people are being exposed. You have to reap what you sow. You got folks that can't eat. And you talk about a jet is necessary that they could never get on. Okay? Here it is. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm getting ready to show y'all. And this was back in 2015. Look. If that was back in 2015, he is probably updated now. His congregation don't have that. A lot of them probably don't even have cars themselves. Okay, but they said it's necessary for ministry. Right? And this was back in 2015. You don't hear much about Creflo anymore. She said, why he never fell off that stool. But y'all, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I'll never forget when I started learning more for myself, and I was talking to this, me and this girl had gone to, we went to junior high school together, and we still kept in touch after, we in our early 20s and stuff, and we started having our children. And so we was still, she had gotten back into the church too, right? And I had my two children. She at that time she had about 4 or 5. So I remember her getting back into the church and stuff. Thank you, Kent. I remember her getting back into the church and stuff. And then we started back communicating again. It was like old times, right? And so I'll never forget, she had a van. And her van was in the shop. And I said to her one day, I said, Teresa, I said, I I've been looking at this thing a little bit differently because we were both going to I won't say what church it was. It was in East Memphis. I said I've been looking at this thing a little differently. The pastor is requesting that we give so much money before the year is out because he wants to pay for the church. I said, how do we know that the church is not already paid for? And he was one of those pastors that always wanted to make you feel guilty. He was like, each and every time we pay off a part of a church because he bought a radio station and all of that, we're going to chop off the armor of Goliath. So he would always bring the Goliath out. We paid off the radio station, chop the arm off. We need to pay off another part of the church. And once we pay off the main church, the big church, we're gonna chop the head off of Goliath, right? So I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I think that God just wants us to be cheerful givers. Like, you don't just have to just give your tithes and offerings. You can help people. Like I think that if you just help people, like for me, like if I see, especially in the wintertime, people, especially around the downtown area, I always stop. You never see me go live or anything like that. And I'll go to McDonald's if I have time and put out a bag of sausage and biscuit sandwiches and hot coffee for them to come in and get, right? I think everybody should do that. It'd be $1, okay? You can go buy 20 sausage and biscuit sandwiches and 20 coffees. And you could really, those homeless people would really appreciate that, right? So, anyways, I was telling her about that. Now, this is a chick that's got 5 damn kids and struggling. I said, we both was really okay. My mom and daddy just helped me out quite a bit. But I told her, I said, just like you, if you like your van is in the shop. I was having to go and pick her up and bring her to church with me. Her and the kids, I put them in my car. We would go to church together. And she cut me off. She said, "Wait a no." She said, I'm gonna be able to get my van out. If I was not paying Operation Goliath, if I was not giving my money for Operation Goliath, I would not be able to get my van out the shop. I said, Teresa, I said, I think you was just gonna be able to get the van out the shop anyways. I said, listen, I don't have any issues with paying because I've always paid tithes and offerings. I said, I just don't like it that this pastor promotes that, it does not count for anything if you go and help somebody on the street. Because he was bad about saying that. God is not going to count if you feel like that you helping people, you stopping in, you helping people on the street, you giving people that's in need money. God only counts, you giving your tithes and offerings in the church. And I told her, I said, I didn't agree with that statement. I said, just like you got your 5 kids. If you needed help, and she cut me off, she said, no, don't say that. Because if you and your kids was hungry out and all I had was my tithes and offerings money, I wouldn't give it to you and your kids to eat. I said, this chick, I couldn't believe that. Now I was going to pick her up. When we got out of church, I mean, I always kept me a little money on me. We get a box of, I can get a box of rice. We'll get 2 boxes. I'll let you, we'll divide it up. I know you got all those kids, okay? Because my kids didn't like no rice. I could get them something else. And but that's what I was doing. And for her to say that no, and I was feeding you, I was picking you up, you didn't have no gas money. She was still living in the hearts of South Memphis. And I was going way to the heart of South Memphis, picking her up, and we was going way out to East Memphis. And she had the nerve to say that to me. See, you have to be careful with you because I ain't forgiving either. I've been like that my whole life, okay? Because I didn't go pick up no more nothing. Because I couldn't believe she said that. If it came down to you and your kids eating, and I'm feeding you and picking you up to take you to church, and it come down to my tithes and offering or paying my tithes and offerings or you and your kids, if you and your kids was hungry, I wouldn't give you my tithes and offerings. I'm gonna put it in the church. Hey, some people feel that way, but hey, you don't need to say stuff like that when you getting help from somebody, the same person you saying it to. I ain't gonna pick up from no more from, and I really didn't talk to her no more either. Mr. Parker says, last time I was in some crook's church, the collection plate came around and I grabbed a hand. Listen, I don't mind paying. Let me just say this. I don't mind paying tithes and offerings to a church, especially a church. I don't have an issue with the pastor getting a salary. I don't. I don't have an issue with paying tithes and offering. It goes to the church to keep the lights and stuff on, to do things for the community. I like to give to churches like that. That gives, like, you always see them doing something like feeding the community and stuff like that, because that's how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was going to and I still love them a lot. Mayor Young's parents, even years before it was ever even thought of Paul being a mayor, his parents was always having there was always having something at the church, and they always believed in helping people to get jobs. And I ain't talking about little penny jobs either. They would always call out scouts to that church and have people out there, and they would help people in the community to get jobs. They was always about doing stuff like that. Hey, Big Pressure. They always did that. And so, I said that to say this with Bishop Jakes. I used to go over to G.E. Patterson Church before G.E. Patterson passed away. He was a big pastor nationally that has a church in South Memphis. G.E. Patterson's church is it's called G.E. Patterson Avenue now, but it used to be called something else. Was it Mississippi? I think it was. I think G.E. Patterson's church. It used to be. It might used to be Mississippi, the street, before they changed it to G.E. Patterson Avenue. And we all used to go because T.D. Jakes used to always come to his church. He did. He used to always come to his church. And I think about that stuff now. It could be very traumatizing, especially when you're going through stuff and you're going to the church. And so I think that's why God is getting at these pastors. It could be traumatizing when you're going through something. And T.D. Jakes had it bad about that. Even though he was a good motivational speaker, he could make you feel very good. But he would always say, okay, if you got $5,000, stand in this line. God got a double potion for you. Whatever problems you're going through, I'm gonna get ready to lay hands on you, and we get ready to pray that thing out. If you got $5,000, and it will be people lining up. Okay, if you ain't got $5,000, $1,000. Okay, if you got $1,000, I'm gonna have my pallbearers to come and stand around you and pray for you. And whatever problems you have, they're gonna be gone. We get ready to pray them away. But what about the people that came there just on a prayer? They barely had gas money. So if you didn't have that type of money, if you didn't have $500, they would have a $500 line. Well, if you got $100, stand in this line, and everybody else stand over there. Everybody else, and they would say, don't try to approach the bishop. If you are standing over there, anything you give is good, but do not try to come over here and speak to the bishop. This is for the people that's in the $5,000 line, the $1,000 line, all of that. That could be quite traumatizing because people was going through stuff. Hey, the Black Barbie. So I think a lot of stuff is being exposed. Hey, I believe in God. I believe in God. Okay. Um, but as I've always said, I think that people have pastors in high places that they shouldn't have them in. They kind of look at them like they are a god and they should not. They're mere man, right? And so, yeah, I guess they should be held to a higher standard if they are going to be over a church and guiding people, right? So they have a higher responsibility, but you're never supposed to prop them up like they are a god. I don't look at no human as my god at all, right? And so yeah, I just think it's a lot of stuff that goes on. I'll never forget. I will never listen. It's crazy. Like there's this church that's been having, and I'm sure y'all people from Memphis know what church I'm talking about. They've been having this sexual healing conference for a very long time, right? Listen, I think it's getting to be too bad when a pastor feels like he can tell you how to make love to your wife, right? A pastor bringing a bed in the pulpit, telling you how to make love to your wife, and the pastor's wives are having little workshops within the sexual healing conference, selling toys, right? Telling you what to toys to use to please your husband. I don't know. It's pretty sick to me because I don't want no man that want me to use it. Yes, cause look, and it's maybe I shouldn't. I probably. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I just think a lot of the things that's being taught is really just perversion, and they find a way to try to choke it down these young women's throats. Your when you get married, your body is not your body anymore, it's your husband's body, and your husband can do whatever he wants with your body because it's not no longer your body, it's your husband's body, and the bed is not defiled. I was listening to them say that, so you know I wasn't never supposed to be up in there. I went up in there with my sister, okay, because she was married. I had no idea what them women was going to be talking about, right? So I guess if they had known I was married, I mean I wasn't married, I wouldn't have been able to get up in there. But what I saw is very, it could be a turnoff, right? Because as women, we're all different. I'm not interested in a man that wants me to be. Don't get me started, okay? But I think there are some lines that pastors should not cross. If my husband or my man needs a pastor to tell him how to make love to me, I don't want him anyways. The Black Barbie. I don't know, y'all. I'm not listen. I'm not talking against all pastors. I'm just saying, like, it's just some things that go on that I don't like. Like now, I saw Bishop. Now, Bishop, y'all know Bishop Marvin Winans fell out the other month. He fell out. He was standing up in the church and he fell out. So it's something going on where they falling out when they preaching. Did y'all see that? He was sitting up there preaching and he fell over too. Okay, they had to go grab him and put water on top of his head. Hold on, let me see. Bishop Winans. It happened a month ago. Okay, here it is right here. Let me show y'all. Now, this happened just a month ago with Bishop Winans, and I love his music. Be quiet.
He's not able to keep his word. And if God is not able to keep his word, then I understand the depression. I understand why we give up. But if we trust, hallelujah, hallelujah, if we trust what God has said and believe
Hey everyone, happy Saturday.
You can see his church don't have the members that it used to have either. But see, Bishop Winans has made a lot of money from singing. He can sing. His music sound good too. That was just 1 month ago. He fell out. Now he looked like he might have been sick for real. TD Jakes, he started shaking, but he didn't fall over. Okay, he didn't fall out. It was like Jakes was having a stroke. Hold on.
Millions around the world, but it is tonight the prayers are now pouring in for Bishop T.D. Jakes, the Dallas megachurch pastor, appearing to have some sort of health incident during a morning service that was inside this morning, inside the Potter's house. Our Olivia Leach has more on how Jakes is doing on this evening, including an update from his daughter.
My Redeemer, let him go in peace.
In a shocking moment that's now gone viral, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the founder and senior pastor of the Potter's House Church of Dallas, was on stage Sunday, finishing an hour-long sermon when he lowered his mic and began to shudder.
Now, y'all, I believe Bishop Winans looked like he may have been sick, but this right here, it seems like, I don't think this dude was sick. He did not fall over not one time. Hey, OG Snake Spotter. Be out. Stop. Be quiet.
A crowd of people quickly rushed over and surrounded him on stage. In a statement posted on social media Sunday afternoon, the Potter's House of Dallas said Bishop T.D. Jakes experienced a, quote, slight health incident. They said he received immediate medical attention and is now stable and under the care of medical professionals.
Hey, family.
Hey.
I know that today's been an interesting day for us.
Okay, then his daughter, Sarah Jakes, I guess she wanted everybody to know. They said that they ran all types of tests on him. He didn't have a stroke. He didn't have a heart attack. I mean, we know that because he had balance. Every time he didn't let himself drop. I think Winans looked like he was sick. It was something else going on with that right there. Every time I look at that now, it just don't look right.
T.D. Jakes, our Olivia Lee.
Moment that's now gone viral. Bishop T.D. Jakes, the founder and senior pastor of the Potter's House Church of Dallas, was on stage Sunday, finishing an hour-long sermon when he lowered his mic and began to shudder. A crowd of people quickly rushed over and surrounded him on stage. In a statement posted on social media Sunday afternoon, the Potter's House of Dallas said Bishop T.D. Jakes experienced a, quote, slight health incident. They said he received immediate medical attention and is now stable and under.
Maybe he was sick. I don't know. He said T.D. Jakes up there shaking like P. Diddy. Snake Spotter said T.D. Jakes needs to stop playing with the Most High, in my opinion. The Black Barber says he's been diagnosed as FOB, full of bullshit. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. These people gonna have to start doing it right, and I'm serious because I have a heart for everybody really that's unfortunate, that has misfortune. Hell, we all just a few dollars from being outside, right? We have to continuously work hard, and some people just can't when they get to be a certain age, or they have health conditions, or when they're children and stuff, they cannot take care of themselves. And so I feel like that's what the church is supposed to be for. I don't have an issue with the pastor having prosperity, but I feel like if you're going to have prosperity, I think everything around you is supposed to have prosperity also, right? So I don't think a pastor should be asking you to pay for him a $70 million jet. Okay. Do he know how many cars and stuff he could have bought? How much, what he could have built some houses. He could have built some houses. Okay. He could have did all of that. My uncle, who is a pastor, he just opened up a church in Memphis. But he's been preaching in Detroit for many years. He bought 3 blocks of houses. He was on national. As a matter of fact, I interviewed him. I interviewed him. And he bought all of those houses, and he fixed those houses up, and he rented those houses out to his members for $500. And he said he did that because all he paid for the houses was $500. He helped them to clean their credit up and all of that. And then once they did that, they was able to get loans, and then they bought the house from him. They was able to own the house. I agree, Black Barbie. I don't know. Like I said, it's some stuff that's, but I think more people are starting to open their eyes and stuff, because can you imagine the stress? I remember my grandma and them. Now we was living in the projects, and my grandmother and them at that time they didn't have no jobs. They was working at that time when I was about 8-9 years old. They was working like temporary. They was working seasonal jobs. So, going to the church, we didn't have no car. Everybody in the projects went to the church behind the Clementine. That's New Harvest. And there's been several preachers since then, but everybody that was at their church mainly came from out of the projects, which means everybody was basically on a fixed income, didn't have anything. And I can remember growing up how a lot of pastors and stuff would make certain women, especially the women, because it was mostly the women in the church, make them feel bad about not giving all of their money. My grandma and them at that time didn't have a lot of money at all. And I can remember my grandma, she would go on because they would pass the giving tray around 3 times. She would go in her purse, she would give a few dollars, and then she would, pass the tray around again, you give a few more dollars. And then the last time, that's when you come up, you come up, walk up and put the money in the tray. And so when enough money was not raised, as always, the pastor would get the preaching and stuff, making making them feel guilty. And sometimes he would call their names out. And my girl, I can remember, like, we'd be walking back home when I was a little girl. If he messed around and called my grandma name out for not giving enough money, they didn't have no money. They wasn't putting no more than like 10, 11, $12 back then. That was in the 80s in the church. That was basically, that was a lot of money back then. Okay, especially for them. My grandmother, I remember walking back home, like to the apartments. If he called her out, my grandma was always one of those ones. She was very sensitive. She would be feeling a certain way about not having enough money or keeping some of her money. She keeping 5 of your dollars. He wanted all of them, and she would be feeling guilty about keeping $5 in her purse and not giving it all to the church. Um, he said TD Jakes should stop playing. He's been diagnosed. Um, so I don't know, y'all. So they're saying allegedly they think that it was a hoax because he's gone from 8,000 members. He was filling up every seat. I thought it was 10,000. But I mean, he had a church in Virginia too. So he got the Potter's House in Virginia. I don't know if he still got that church. Okay. But you're talking about the memberships that are online. He was getting millions of dollars every Sunday. You talking about 8,000 members coming to the church physically, and it has dwindled all the way down to a few hundreds. He has definitely, because I'm sure a lot of what he has been based on that membership. The bills and stuff still keep flowing in. I wonder if that church paid for it. He had it all these years. It ought to be. So I don't know if it was a hoax or not. That's just what people are saying from some people from his church, according to media takeout. He could have very well been sick. I would have said that is all I'm giving. Mr. Parker said he's sick in the head. Hold on, y'all. I want to show y'all this. Y'all, hold on. Hold on, you all. Yeah, that church so big it looks like a warehouse.
In the West Oak Cliff area of Dallas.
Y'all, that's a huge church. It is huge. It's in Oak Cliff.
Dallas was live streaming its Sunday morning service. Bishop Jakes was nearing the end of his hour-long sermon. As he was wrapping up his message, the church says he experienced a, quote, slight health incident. Out of respect, we're not showing the moment, but Jakes stopped speaking and appeared to spasm while staring into the distance. People instantly surrounded him, and the live feed was quickly shut down. Last night, Jake's daughter and son-in-law.
I don't know, y'all. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. I even if he was sick, I hope, you know. Listen, I'm gonna say this because I'm not a evil person. I'm gonna say this. I do believe that when a lot of these ministers start getting into ministry, they do it for the right reasons, more than likely. You know, there used to be a time where a lot of pimps got into preaching. That's where pimps in the pulpit come from. They would get out of the pimping game and get into into the preaching game, because a lot of the women that was having issues, was struggling and all of that, they would be in the church, and they looked at that as a form of pimping and going and preying on the women in the church. Right. That's the reason why a lot of them croaks over, because for some reason it is just, it is in the atmosphere even now. Not, but so many men feel like their come up is by dogging out women or coming up off of women, right? Mistreating women, and that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of them gets okay. But I hope that these preachers, because he could have very well been sick. If he was sick, my God, I pray that God heals him, because Bishop has had some sermons that, especially when I was really listening to him is very motivational. Some sermons that have helped me. Whenever he went to G.E. Patterson's church in Memphis, I was definitely there, especially in my early 20s, when I was trying to find my way and I was trying to get more into God and get a relationship. You know, I was going to I was going to see him, right? But whatever it is that's going on in his life and it's not right, I do pray that this man turns his life around and these ministers start doing it right. There's so many people that's hurting. I never said that I don't feel like ministers should get a salary, because what they're doing is a job, right? When you're motivating people, when you're preaching to them, like I said, the church is like the hospital, the mental hospital, really. There are a lot of people that come there physically sick, mentally sick, and they pull from you. They drain you. They pull from your spirit. So I don't have an issue with them getting a salary. I have an issue with all of this greed that is going on and taking advantage of people that are already hurting, right? And I do believe that God is tired of that. And these folks are not gonna, I don't care if you're a pastor or not, you're not going to be able to continuously just get over on people, because you know that they are vulnerable. A lot of them have low self-esteem. They have all of these issues going on in their life, and you're able to get over on them and feel like that they can buy their salvation, or they can buy them a seat in heaven. You gonna go to heaven if you pay your tithes and offerings. I think that we've gotten so far out of line. That's the reason why we see all the crap that we seeing now. People are just running amok. You have some some religions that teach you can do anything you want to do as long as you ask God to forgive you. That's a dangerous message to speak. Okay, that's a dangerous thing to teach, and I think that's why we're starting to see a lot of what we see, because you do. That's why when people do something to me, I don't let them come back and say, I'm sorry. You can't treat me how you want to treat me. Then think you're going to say, you sorry to me. Fuck you. Lord, forgive me for saying it, but that's how I feel. Okay. But that is what is being taught. And that's a dangerous message. No accountability, instead of saying, watch how you treat people. Watch how you treat people. If you don't like a person, just don't even go around. Don't mistreat them though. Be cognizant of how you treat people, because we all owe each other respect. I give you respect, you give me respect. Okay. But instead, people want to do, because there's no emotional restraint, right? People are just emotionally messed up. They want to lash out and do whatever they want to do, and then once they get that off their chest, okay, I did it. Okay, now maybe I was wrong, but I feel better because I did it. I did it now, so now I'm gonna go back and ask for forgiveness. That's the reason why I don't forgive. Okay. Instead of teaching people about being proactive, right? Instead of reacting to everything. And these are the things that's taught. It's okay to do whatever you want to do as long as you put some money in church. And that's why you see people feeling like they can buy their way into anything. You start seeing the drug dealers and stuff come up in the church, and the pimps, okay? If they're putting a lot of money in church, they ain't going to try to talk to them about getting out of that lifestyle. They want to cater to them. That's why we see a lot of these young men and women, they don't look at the character of and the quality of the person. They feel like you're supposed to follow a person and let them lead you if they got some money. They ain't got no character as long as they got some money, because that's what they're seeing. That's what they've seen. You give the respect to the person with the money, damn whether they got character or not. And it's the same thing in the church. The people that pay the most money sit up at the front of the church. They got seats, assigned seats. They giving $5,000 a Sunday or a month to this church, so they got assigned seats. But he cheating on his wife. He beat on his wife. His kids don't like him. He ain't got no character. But we're going to give him a seat at the front because he putting money in the church. So I just think that, yeah, right. And that lustful spirit, women are already vulnerable. They're going through something. They go to the church. Next thing you know, pastor, she meeting pastor at the hotel room. You know, y'all know I'm so nosy. I read Donnie McClurkin's book. I used to love every song that Donnie McClurkin put out. And he had a book out I read about 10 years ago, From Victim to Victor. And Donnie McClurkin talked about how what happened to him was his mother, they was out in the yard playing when they were children. And his mother was standing in the window looking at them, and his little brother was playing with his ball, and the ball rolled out in the street, and his little brother ran out in the street to try to get the ball, and a car was coming down the street and ran over his little brother, and it ran his mother crazy. She had to go to the mental institution. His father had to work, so they sent him and his siblings to go stay with the uncle. While the mother was in the mental institution, the father was working. He said the very first night he got there, the uncle molested him. And then the uncle's son started molesting him. So it messed up his sexuality. So then Donnie McClurkin says that when he started going to church, I'm going to tell y'all something. There's a song that Donnie McClurkin has, is my favorite song when I was going through, and I didn't even know the meaning behind the song. I'm going to play it before I get off of here. It brought me through so much, right? But I didn't know why I loved it. But then when I started reading the book, I he talked about how he wrote that song, right? He says that when he got older, he started going to the church. And he says that he knew he was feminine, his sexuality was messed up. So he started going to the church because he felt like he needed to get into the church to start being around men that could teach him how to be a man. He says that instead of them, taking him up under their wing to teach him how to be a man, he says the next thing he know, they would be saying, well, why don't you go with me on a vacation? He said they took more advantage of him. He said, so I'm going to the church because I knew that, what I was doing wasn't right. I didn't know I was so feminine. I didn't know how to be a man. So I said, I'm going to get deep into the church so that the deacons of the church could show me how to be a man, how to walk right, how to walk like a man, how to act like a man. He said, because I was just so feminine. He said, and every single one of them took advantage of him. They helped him to, I guess, to relish in that lifestyle that he was trying to get away from. They took advantage of him. He said they took more advantage of me. And he said, so his hit song that he wrote, he said he was walking one day and there was this church that was open. And he said he was so tired he wanted to get away from that lifestyle. But everybody that he went to try to, all of the men he went to in the church, they took advantage of him and helped him to enable that lifestyle. He said, so he walked into this church randomly and he said, God, I came in here for deliverance. I came in here for deliverance. God, you said you would deliver me. Please deliver me from this spirit that is on me. Okay. And I respect that man for that. And that song, and I was like, God, I always, when I first heard that song, I loved it so much. I didn't know the meaning behind him writing that song at all. Chip says, I thought it was fake when I saw it. I was expecting him to fall out on the floor and start foaming at the mouth. Well, they're saying people are starting to come out of the woodworks too, filing lawsuits on TD Jakes, claiming that he sexually assaulted him. Now I ain't never heard TD Jakes I never knew him to be caught up in no scandals as it relates to that. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying I don't know about that. With Bishop Eddie Long, there was pictures of Bishop Eddie Long being there with the guys and taking them to get their nails and stuff done and all of that. Yeah, Leo, they said that they tested him. He didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. They said no heart attack or stroke. Yeah, I'm gonna play it for y'all. I'm gonna play it for y'all. But even if he is sick, I'm praying for these pastors to truly do what's right. There are a lot of people, and y'all know I be getting emotional. I be trying not to cry because I get emotional when I think about this. There are a lot of people that's in need. Our community is in a state of emergency. Like I told y'all, I had to go to the Social Security office because my information was sold. The FBI on top of it though. They went in. I had to go to the Social Security office for something, child. And I was sitting at the back of the social. I went to the Social Security office on 3rd Street. Yeah, I was sitting in the back of the Social Security office. I was like, God, now I know that I help people. I'll stop and I do volunteer work and all of that. I was like, but God, I must be out of reach. I grew up in South Memphis, but seeing those people walk in there, because 3rd Street is in South Memphis, seeing people walk in there and I'm sitting back there, y'all, I was just wiping tears. I was like, God, our people are in a state of emergency. It's something going on in our community. And all we could do is just hurt and kill each other and do evil things to each other when it is sickening in our community. I know they say when people come into the Social Security office, they be coming in there for different reasons. They come in there and they play crazy. I was like, but I was looking at the kids and stuff, y'all. I was looking at the kids. I don't mean no harm. God, Lord knows, I don't think I'm better than nobody else. That's why I was sitting back there crying. I don't think I'm better than nobody else. I was looking at like the shoes the kids had on, how their hair and stuff looked, and how it smelled. Y'all, our community is in our people need some help. And I just think that it is a crying shame that you get people that's supposed to be leaders in our community that further takes advantage of our community because they understand our people just don't know no better. It was so hurtful to me when I heard Barack Obama, who was a black president, say, when they asked him what was he going to do for the black community, he says, I can't just do for the black community. He said, black people don't know what to ask for. And that hurt me to this very day because black people don't know what to ask for because there have been so many secrets and stuff kept away from us. But you as a black man, as a black president should have said, but that's going to change today. I'm getting ready to put some stuff in place. So to teach them what to ask for. So they'll know what to ask for so that there can also be generational wealth built in the black community, right? I think we just become so complacent because they use fear as a tactic in our community. We become so complacent with taking the bare minimum. And so when somebody like me say, I'm not going to be poor. I'm not going to be poor. Well, you supposed to be poor and meek. That's for you, ma'am. That ain't for me. That's not for me at all. It's not for me to be poor and broken, busted, and disgusted. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to be. That goes against God's word, okay? If he says, I came to give you life and give you life more abundantly. And I think that's what people forget. All right, people say, well, we have to be poor because God said we can't get into heaven. If what they say that, it's better to be poor and the rich can't, they stick a needle through the horse eye or something. Y'all, I know I'm saying that scripture all wrong, but that don't apply to me. Okay. What applies to me is what God says, I came to give you life and give you life more abundantly. And God says, and money answers all things. Okay. And so that's you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to call money to you, not going hurt other people for money, not take advantage of people for money. That's why it don't work for you, because you get it wrong and then you end up losing it. It goes through your hands just like water. Can't nothing work out for you because you ain't obtaining it right. You can't go rob and steal and kill from folks and think you're going to be able to hold on to something. You're supposed to be able to call money to you and then make it work for you, right? But you got people that's working for it and allowing money to control them when you're supposed to control the money, okay? I hold on to God's word when God says, and money answers all things, okay? Because see, I need to keep my lights on. I got to get my mortgage paid. I have to be able to pay my card, my truck note. I have to be able to do all that. Okay? So I make it work for me. But it's so unfortunate that, our community has been taught you be poor, busted, broke, and disgusted on this side of earth. Okay? And then when you get to heaven, you're going to walk on streets of gold. I'm going to go get me some gold right now. And I'm talking about some real gold. If you want some, go over there to Africa, because what y'all buying from these Iranians ain't real. You just spending your damn money. All that clacking ass gold. Clacking. And they spending all their wealth putting it in other communities on that fake shit. Okay? I'm not going to be broke, busted, and disgusted on this side of earth and wait to die to walk on gold. I'm gonna go get me some real gold and some diamonds, and I'm gonna walk with it on this side of heaven. Okay? You got that right. They have gentrified downtown, yet still got a homeless issue. You absolutely right. Joe Loves God says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Oh, okay. That's the scripture, Joy. I'm gonna be a rich woman and I'm gonna enter wherever God is. That's where I'm going, and I'm gonna have plenty of money because I'm working to get it. Okay, so that scripture don't apply to me. I like that scripture that says, "And money answers all things. I came to give you life and give you life more abundantly." Write the vision down and make it plain. Although it might tarry, it will surely come. Everything I write down, okay, and I look to the hills. I start praying for it. That vision, I write it down and make it plain. I'm able to go back and just start checking stuff. I like to write stuff down and put the date and start meditating on it and say, God, if it be your will, because I don't want nothing that's not in the will of God for me, because we are on a journey. I don't want to get off of my journey anymore. If it be in your will, I start going and checking that stuff off. Dog, look at that. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. It's in my Bible in Habakkuk. Okay. I write down what I want. Then when I check off everything on that list, I make me another list, pray over it, put it right back in Habakkuk. God, if it be your will, okay? If it be your will, keep me on your journey. Don't give me nothing that's going to take me off of my journey. If it be your will, then I know this too shall come to pass. After a while, I start checking that stuff off, checking it off, checking it off, checking it off, because the God that I serve is faithful. Okay. So when all these people around here, they got these jealous hearts, they throwing daggers in folks' back. I don't have time. You an old rotten ass fool. Anyways, if you in your damn late 30s and 40s and 50s and stuff, and you sitting up talking about plotting against somebody else, your crazy ass is getting ready to go on somewhere. You ought to be trying to get your life right. Okay? But instead, they get a bunch of damn fools to join in with them, and all of that bad karma, they creating all that bad karma for themselves. That's why I don't let people pull me into stuff as it relates to doing dirt to nobody. I have a lot of issues myself that I have to deal with. I have an unforgiving spirit, but that's because I'm very loyal. You don't give a one time to my stomach. What I'm supposed to do? Let you come back and finish me off? No, you did what you did, and you go on with life. Okay? Because I don't want you in mine no more. That's between me and God. But anytime you have time to sit around and be plotting against folks, you are a straight up loser. And everything that you go through comes from that evilness that resides on the inside of you. You can't stop nobody's blessing. You can't stop it. That's why when they was messing with me on here, I was like, these folks don't understand that I was great before I got on here. How do you think they're going to crawl out the sewer and think they could ever stop me? And when they don't know nothing about you, they start making up shit. She's sleeping with them police officers. They can't tell you a police officer I slept with. The only reason why they know I dated one is because I told them. And he ain't get ready to talk to him because he got class. You might arrest him, but he got class. But that's the type of stuff that people with a sewer mentality do. And then every time you turn around, they going through a storm. You better be careful about who you put your mouth on. You don't know who these folks' ancestors were. You don't know what kind of prayers that they great grandmamas and granddaddies and stuff sealed in heaven as it relates to them. As soon as you try to do something to them, you'll have a heart attack and die. You better be very careful about who you try to mess with. And you wonder why can't nothing you do come through. Everything you do fails. I thought I had it, and then it messing with the wrong person. You got all these damn fools that join in with a witch. Evil can't win. Evil can't win, because one thing for sure, them prayers gonna throw them right back up off of you. They still don't understand when it's meant and it's been predestined. A devil in hell can't even stop it. A devil in hell can't stop it. It's a lot of people that's in their grave right now because they thought that they was going to be able to stand in the way of what was predestined. And warning comes before destruction. Okay, God done warn you. You still think you're gonna block this person. Oh, okay, now you done croaked out. What happened there? Child, they overdosed. Oh wow, this messed up when they should have set their ass down somewhere and got on their journey. You can't stop what God has determined is gonna be, because it was already determined before that person was ever even born. You can't get mad at somebody because they figure out what their journey is and they stay on their journey. Everybody got a journey. You can't get mad at somebody because you don't want to get on your path and they stay on theirs. And you see the manifestations that comes from obedience. Okay? Y'all better learn how to start rebuking these devils without getting off your path. You better start calling the names out and getting around some Holy Ghost filled people that's going to help you to move any devil. And I ain't talking about, well, I don't like her, so we going to come together and start chanting. And ain't nothing but it's going to turn on you, sister. You'll have a stroke by January, bitch. You'll have a stroke by January, calling yourself gonna put some witchcraft on the wrong person that is covered in prayers. You better make sure your stuff is right. But when you really right, you know how to pray and go into the spiritual realm and have God says, where 2 or 3 agree, I be in the midst. Start calling out them folks' names and don't look back at them. God, you handle that and stay on your path. After a while, God says, and this demon you will see no more. See, people use their mouth and their words for the wrong thing, and it's just too much stuff that's backfiring. They ain't right. We gonna do this because we jealous of her. I just don't like her. No, that ain't it. You in my way. I'm on a journey. You think you're gonna stop what has been predestined? Now I got to put my mouth on you. Okay, and then we won't see you no more. Okay. Mr. Parker, what you talking about? He said, either I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, because I'm the baddest in the valley. Booker Parker, I tell you. But y'all, we got to do right. We got to do right. It takes nothing to do right. When you start helping other people, it makes you feel good. Let me tell you something. Don't y'all know, when it gets cold and I see those homeless people out there, and I go back to the McDonald's and I get sausages and I get coffee and I go and put it out there on that bench. Y'all think I'm helping them. It helps me. Do y'all know how good it makes me feel? You don't see me put it on social media or nothing. Do y'all know how good it makes me feel when I ride back through there and see them folks sitting there in that cold, drinking that hot coffee and eating that sausage? They think y'all think I'm helping them. It's helping me. If you start doing something for somebody, if you're feeling down, go do something for somebody if you can. It ain't even got to be monetary. You will see how good it makes you feel. But it's so unfortunate that people so consumed with evil. They want to take their evil energy and just spread it around on other people. Okay. Have you ever noticed, like, when people are just miserable, just act like you happy? If you act like you happy, just start laughing and being joyful, they will get up and leave the room. That's how you run the devil off. Because oftentimes when people are miserable, they want everybody to be miserable. You just got to choose to be happy. Choose to be happy. Do something for somebody else. Get on your journey. I keep saying that. Get on your journey and watch and see. If you get on your journey and you stay on your journey, start dropping all of the dead weight. I promise to God, when you it's lonely when you're on your journey and you're traveling to the top. It's lonely on that road, but I promise you it's gonna be worth it. It's people familiar faces are gonna start dropping off and it's gonna hurt your soul. But it's sure gonna be worth it in the end when you make it to the end, when you make it through that tunnel on that journey and you start running into new people, you're gonna say, God, that's why I had to go through that. Wow, this is better than I could have ever thought. Old things oftentimes have to drop off so that you can connect to new things. A lot of people don't understand that if they understood that, they wouldn't waste another day being unhappy. Hey, Kawana. Anyways, you guys, I know I said I was going to be on here longer, but I'm going to get off because I need to. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just make my pasta. My mom says, my mother is so excited. My mama got all of my relatives are coming to my mom's house tomorrow. So, I told y'all I all of the stuff that I bought and I said I was going to cook. I'm just going to cook it for Christmas because she said she is not going to cook that much for Christmas. So she said for if we wanted to bring a side dish, she told me I could do my Arabian, it's more like a Mediterranean pasta. And if I could do that. And I guess that's what I'll do tonight and put it on in the refrigerator. Cause my mama she cooked greens, dressing with her turkey wings in it, candied yams. She did a pan of neck bones, sweet potato pies, candied yams. I don't think she made any macaroni and cheese. I don't think. I gotta ask her. I don't think she made any macaroni. She named a lot of stuff. Oh, she made a potato salad. And what else did my mama make? She said she was making. She over there cooking right now. She been cooking all day. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Listen, my mama gonna call me and ask me earlier this week. Talking about, you want some chitterlings? I said no. I don't want no chitterlings at all. Talking about, okay, I'm just gonna buy one bucket. So I'm just gonna buy one bucket. Y'all sitting up talking about y'all don't want no chitterlings. So um, don't be mad when they run out quick. I have not eaten chitterlings since I was a little girl. I don't eat them now. So y'all, she made some chitterlings too. Oh, and she said she bought some baby backs. She grills on my mama grills on holidays too. And she makes her own barbecue sauce and it be so good. I know I got to get there early because they'll come and take all the ribs and walk away with them. My mama said my cousin's been calling talking about, is the food ready? She said she told them no. Everybody got to wait till tomorrow because they trying to get all the food tonight and eat it up before anybody else can get some. She said, hey, you talking about the chitterlings, Joy loves God. You making one bag of chitterlings. I'm gonna tell y'all what I used to do when I used to eat chitterlings when I was little. I used to take them and drench them in hot sauce. Oh Lord, I cannot eat them now. Oh, I used to take them and drench them in hot sauce. I know one thing that I'm gonna eat tomorrow. I'm eating some of those neck bones. I'm gonna drench those in hot sauce. I don't know where my mama get her neck bones from, but they have a lot of meat on them. Her neck bones have a lot of meat on them. Sure. How many people in here eat chitterlings? I know the country people call them chitlins. They chitlins. The chitlins. How many people in here eat chitlins? My mama put turkey necks. I think she be putting turkey. I think my mama put turkey, some kind of I believe turkey neck in her greens. Joy loves God says she loves chitlins. Mr. Parker said he don't. Mr. Parker, you don't like chitterlings? Hmm. Oh my God. Mr. Parker, you need to stop. Oh my goodness. Anyways, you guys. I wonder because I almost spent the night with my mama tonight because I was like, I'm just gonna go early. I almost spent the night with her because I was like, I know she cooking. She been cooking all day. I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna say, did you those ribs ready? But she did, baby back ribs and Lord have mercy. Oh, she did coleslaw. Oh, she did baked beans also. My mama did baked beans. She put the little spicy sausages in her the little spicy things in her baked beans. I almost spent the night so that when she went to sleep, because I know she tired from cooking all day, I was gonna be up eating. I was gonna be up eating. I was gonna eat potato salad. I almost feel like getting up, going and spending the night so I can eat when she go to sleep. But knowing her, she'd be so happy I spend the night. She'll be up talking all night. I mean, she'll be up talking all night. I'll fall asleep before her because she'll be so happy I'm spending the night. And I'll be asleep and won't get to steal nothing to eat. Because I'll be eating before the dinner tomorrow. I'll be good and full. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to. I tell y'all what, I may get back on tonight. I need to do some things. I had some gifts and stuff to come in. My stuff came in. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all, they're having Black Friday sales online. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I ain't gonna say where I ordered from. But the guy ended up giving me 30% off. Oh my God. I ordered. Oh my God. I love Calvin Klein stuff, the tights and all of that so much. But I think I might get back if I'm not when I finish, because see, I don't have to do nothing. My mom just want me to make a salad. I make a really good Arabian salad. I do bow tie noodles and drain it, drench it in extra virgin olive oil, the good olive oil. And then I put Parmesan cheese. I coat it with Parmesan cheese. And I put sun-dried tomatoes in it, feta cheese. I chop up bell pepper. And then I season it with oregano, garlic powder, onion powder. And it be so good. I put salt and pepper. And it be so good. And sometimes I put crushed pepper in there too. So I be doing my thing on that one. Anyways, y'all, I just stumbled over a note I wrote myself during the summer while I was talking to my sister about a Christmas gift. I ordered all the stuff. That's a blessing. My mama, like me, she like coffee mugs. I was able to find her some coffee mugs and stuff with her initials on them. And I asked my mama, she's so old fashioned. She said that she wanted a oversized chair. Y'all know those oversized I can't think of what they call them right now. The oversized chairs. So I was telling my sister, I said she really need a new couch set, right? So I called her. I said, "Don't you want a new couch? Don't you just want us to get you a whole new um dining room set, a new couch, and an oversized sofa?" No. I said I think it would be better we getting you an oversized sofa to have a couch to match it. No. I don't want a new couch. I like my couch. I just want the oversized chair. I said, ain't this some shit? How I don't know how she expect, like, I want to get the sofa to match it. That's just weird. Hold on. An oversized chase. That's what it's called, an oversized chase. It's called an oversized chase. She want one similar. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how she want us to get her an oversized chase. She want one like this right here, but you don't want the couch to go with it? That's weird. It ain't gonna even look right. So we get her one that's similar to this, not necessarily this color, but if you're gonna buy the oversized chase, why wouldn't she want the couch? That's what I can't understand. Why don't you want the couch that's gonna match the chase? She want to keep her couch that she already got, and she want us to to get a chase like this to match up with the couch. That's what stresses me out, because now we got to try to find a chase that'll match colors of the couch, when we could just buy the couch and the chase and not have to be worried about trying to match up no colors. Child, I don't know what be going on with that lady. Yeah, it's called oversized chase. Because most chases are not as, the ones that are wide and big, they're like an oversized chase. Because see, my couch has a chase on it. It's a sectional, and it's got a chase on it, but it's not an oversized chase. He said I was made on the guy. Oh my God. That might be what's going on, because I can't understand why she don't want most. You know what? I thought for sure she was going to say yes. And she would have been excited about us getting her getting the couch and the oversized chase. That saves more time rather than trying to match up a chase with her couch. When she said, no, I want my couch. That lady had that couch now for, I know, about 3 years. Why you don't want to get a new one? She said I was behind, but I love cheddar. Clarinetta said she loves them too, Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker, you hear me? Clarinetta says she loves chitterlings too. Mr. Parker, you grew up in the South. You're not going to tell me that you have not had chitlins. You're not going to tell me that you haven't had chitlins. Mr. Parker, you're not going to tell me that you've never eaten chitlins. You grew up in the South. You don't say he took one bite 30 years ago and threw up for 67 days straight. Whatever. Oh my God. Anyways, you guys, I'm getting ready to get off. I might get back on tonight, y'all. I might get back on. Oh, I was gonna play that song for y'all right quick. Let me play that song for y'all. Y'all don't get off. That song I was telling y'all about, Donnie McClurkin. Let me play it for you all. It's such a powerful song. I like the live, but they don't show the live anymore.
Champ and it's toasty and we never give me everything. And that's what I believe. And that's what I believe. Yeah, I love that song. Y'all need to take that song and listen to it. It's such a great song.
It helps you, the words of it. You said you would deliver me, and that's what I believe. And that's the key thing. You have to recite God's word out and say, now this is what I believe. Speak what you want into the atmosphere. Make sure it lines up with the word of God, that just if it be God's will, because everything you want is not God's will. You know how sometimes we be praying for God ain't gonna give you nobody else's wife or husband. So I'm gonna tell you that'll never line up with the will of God. Okay, I'm just saying, speak those things out that lines up with the will of God, and then say that's what I believe. He said, my favorite gospel song is No Hospital Gang by Big 30. Oh, Lord, Big 30 needs to get his life right. You need to go on Big 30's Instagram and try to mentor Big 30. Somebody needs to try to help him get off of them pills or whatever he on, because his eyes look like they fixed and dilated sometimes. And I kind of like Big 30, so I be hating to see him stoned out of his mind like he is. But he needs to get his life right with the Lord. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get off here because I got some things I gotta do. Okay. But I love you guys. I might get back on tonight at midnight if I'm not asleep. Okay. I'll talk to you later.